30 seconds at least, or a minute. So we can release.
Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar.
Are you guys able to hear me? Hello? Might be better, huh? Yeah, probably definitely better. Okay. Okay, you guys can hear me now? All right. Anybody else has any comments or questions? Anyone? Uh, Please keep the conversation going so people don't think we
Okay.
lost audio again.
So there's no more questions about the verses. You think I have another out of topic question?
Um, yeah, verse 28. I just wanted to say how they should have said, God willing. The righteous among them said, if you only had glorified God. So this is, I don't know if this is the same story as the people from Surah 18, the cave, how the owners of their garden were so absolutely sure about their harvest. But in that in that occurrence too, we can see how those people fail to glorify God and say, "Mashallah, this is what God has given me." But they only realized after, you know. And I mean, it's not like they lost their garden just because they forgot to say it one time. They were obviously idol worshiping, and so we don't want to be like these people. So naturally, as submitters, I think every chance we get, it'll help us glorifying God.
Inshallah, brother. Yeah, it's awesome. It protects. You protect your the things you love this way. By employing God, and also your um God is so awesome. You're growing your soul. And like people that fail to do this, and fail to grow their soul, by these certain practices that God has prescribed from the believers, like saying God willing and mashallah and all these um, opportunities, we have to remember God and grow our souls. In the day of judgment, their souls, a lot of people, their souls are not going to be grown. They're not going to be, um, they're going to be in a terrible situation with no excuse, because God gives us um, certain practices, to grow our souls, and to remember God.
All right. I'm back. So, Brother Fal, you had a question? Did you ask your question already? What was the comment?
Yeah, it was an out of topic comment,
Mm-hmm.
not about the So I was asking if people still had comments about the verses
Mm-hmm.
first.
Mm-hmm. Well, I don't have any comments about the verses because I already shared all my comments.
Right, mashallah.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very good comments, brother.
Mashallah, thank you, brother. Yeah, so anybody else has any comments or questions about the verses? Okay, going once, going twice. All right. Okay, brother Rafael, you can ask your question.
Okay, so it's for Surah 65, verse 12.
Uh huh.
God created seven universes and the same number of earths. The commands flow among them. This is to let you know that God is omnipotent and that God is fully aware of all things. And the footnote says, although God created six other planets
Mm-hmm.
that are identical to our Earth, there is life only on our planet. Thus,
Mm-hmm.
the evolutionists will be shown on the day of judgment that life did not just evolve on the planet because of its particular circumstances.
Mm-hmm.
So, God created six other planets that are exactly the same as Earth, like with
Yes.
trees and
Yes.
water and all this stuff.
Well, trees,
Oh, okay.
no, um,
Oh,
in the sense because trees are creatures.
oh, right, right. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. But they're identical to Earth in terms of like the conditions um, for water and stuff. You know, there's no life. There will be no life. They'll be shown those on the day of judgment, though. Not necessarily
Mm-hmm.
saying that the people will discover them now, but they'll be
All
shown
right.
on the day of judgment that they were exactly the same way as Earth. Like they had the exact um, same conditions as Earth. Um, but you know there would be no life there.
Mashallah, that's pretty amazing. I didn't know that. Because at first I thought it was probably talking about like the planets that we know of, but then I was like, no, because it says Earth, and then the footnote, I thought about it more, and I was like, I realized that's probably talking about, it's just mashallah, it's pretty amazing.
Hmm. Yeah, is my voice really low? I'm being told my voice is really low on.
It was kind of lower, I think, when you first rejoined a minute ago, but
Mm-hmm.
it's better now. It's
Okay.
pretty moderate.
Uh huh. Yeah.
I don't know how.
I can fix it.
Maybe somebody else can comment.
There was times when it was cutting off when we were talking. I don't know if that's what I, brother Suleiman was talking. There were some times where it
Mm,
was cutting off
Yeah,
for a
that
few
was
yeah.
seconds.
the bandwidth, but I'm referring to the volume. Basically, you know, if the volume is.
Are you able
I'll
to?
try to share my.
Are you able
I'll
to?
try to share my screen, God
Uh,
willing.
God
So
willing. Yeah. If not, that's okay.
yeah, I'm gonna try to share my screen. Um, so here I have. Uh, where is it? Let's see. This is in pages. Let's see. This is in pages. Smoke proofs. Okay, can you guys see my screen?
Not yet,
Hold
brother.
on.
I can't.
Okay, so hold on. Sorry.
No, I can't.
I'm not yet. Okay, yeah, one sec. I figured this is going to be window projector preview share. Okay, now you can see.
Mash- Mashallah, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so wait a second here. Let me expand it a little bit. Yeah, so on Friday, I gave a sermon this Friday, which was yesterday, about the smoke again. And the idea was that I wanted to, include some of the proofs that we didn't discuss before, uh, that were later found by some of us and shared on WhatsApp. And so they were John was keeping track of them, and we were trying to consolidate them before. So I was like, okay, I'm going to give another sermon where I'm going to present all of those proofs, and minus some of the other side information that I had discussed in my previous sermon. And so that got me looking into those proofs again, more proofs. And then I figured that after I was done with my sermon, even though there was quite a lot of evidence that we put together, mashallah, that God has already shown us. Like, I was thinking, okay, like, there's no more proofs, right? Before, I was thinking, okay, like, okay, we're certain that it's happening. But then when I gave the sermon, I was like, wait a minute, I think there's much more to this, right? There's more evidence. And so then this morning, like, I started working on it, and I, was able to write a program to help me, find more stuff, and so, subhanallah, I ended up finding uh, 57 more facts about, Apophis. And so, I mean, I counted them, there were like 59, and then two of them we had already found before, so I removed them to 57, subhanallah. So, I mean, it's a long list, as you can see, all these numbers. It's amazing, subhanallah. And God willing, I mean, I will share all of them, in some format that we can all read them somewhere. Um, so there's like, yeah, a lot of numbers, like 57 of them, right? So things that are included in this are like uh, new stuff, like the geometrical value of the letters in Surah 22, verse 10, where it says, watch for the day when the earth brings a profound smoke. So that was one thing that was added, was that, and the sequence of numbers. Hold on, actually, let me share those things that we did that make up these numbers, right? So, um, so yeah, you have the surah number, which is 44. Then in other places, like I have 44 through 13, and some places I have 44, 9, and 10. Some places I just have 44:10, which is watch for the day when the earth brings a profound smoke, and then other places, like we did before, we have 44:9 through 15 as the messenger has referenced. Some places he has referenced 44:9 through 15, some places 9 through 13, and then 9 and 10. And then we have the components of this. It has the verse 44:10 has 6 words, 28 letters total, and it has a geometrical value of 2,542. And this is the sequence of the letters and their geometrical values, right? And then also, like Brother John, he pointed out on verse 2265. So we have the verse 2265, and then it has 27 letters, 101, 27 words, 101 letters, and the total geometrical value is 7,918. And then, of course, we have the data about the Apophis itself. So we have the date of the impact of Apophis, which is this one, and then we have the date of discovery. Then here we just have the year of discovery. Then here we have the year of impact. We have the number of Apophis, which is 99942. As given by the astronomers, the number assigned to it to Apophis. Then we have the total geometrical value of Apophis, which is 159, and then we have the letters of individual letters of Apophis with their geometrical values, right? And then we have the geometrical value of Rashad, geometrical value of Khalifa, and the combined value of Rashad Khalifa, right? So those are all the numbers that were selected for this, and then I looked for the patterns about the mathematical numbers. So like some of them are very simple. For example, this one is saying that okay, if you put 44 next to the date of discovery of Apophis, sorry, I just messed it up. If you put 44 next to 2004, which is the date of discovery of Apophis, year of discovery of Apophis, and then 2029, which is the year of discovery of Apophis, it's 19 times this number. It's a multiple of 19, put side by side, right? Then if you write these numbers side by side, which is the number of words in 44:10, and then the total geometrical value of Apophis, which is 159, you get this number, which is a multiple of 19. Then if you put this, actually this should say 6/4/13, which is the date of impact. If we add the date of impact and the year of impact together, we get this number. So this is the sorry, hold on. Actually, I forgot one thing. If we add the number of words in this and the date of impact, the date of impact, right? So date of impact is 4/13/2029, and number of words in 44:10 is 6. That's the multiple. So some of them are these very simple ones. All right, there's the geometrical value of 44:10, which is 2,542, and this is the geometrical value of Apophis. So you put them side by side, and they're a multiple of 19. If you add the surah number 44 plus the number of words, which is 6, plus the geometrical value of Apophis, it's a multiple of 19. surah number, which is 44, and the number of words in 4410. No, not number of words in 4410. This is 2010. This, yeah, number of words. Sorry, words in 4410. This is number of words in 4410, which is 6, and then the year of discovery, then the year of impact, and then the number of the apophis, 99942. You get a multiple of 19. Then if you add the number of words in 4410, if you write the number of words in 4410, I mean, a number of letters in 4410, and the total geometrical value of apophis, so you get a multiple. So see these combinations with apophis with 4410, they are basically kind of doing the marriage between 4410 and the apophis, pointing to the fact that when the smoke is tied to the apophis, right? So all these are numbers about the smoke, they are numbers about the apophis, so they're tying the apophis with the 4410 verse. Same way we have surah number 44, number of words, number of words, which is 6, for number of words in 4410, which is 6, and then the day, month, and year of impact, which is 4/13/2029, put side by side, April 13, 2029, we get this number, which is a multiple of 19. And then if you put the geometrical value of 4410 plus the date of discovery, the year of discovery of apophis, next to the day of a year of impact of apophis, next to the geometrical value of apophis, you get a multiple of 19. Subhanallah, yes. And then here you have the number of words in 4410 plus the year of discovery and the year of impact of apophis. This is also a multiple of 19. Then we have some longer ones, like here, for example, we have 44 surah number plus 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, plus the date of impact of apophis, you get a multiple of 19. Then here you have the surah number 44. Yeah, in the beginning I had some problems with my program, so you see some of these descriptions were repeated here, but the letters are correct. So you have 44, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13. To just clean up this mess a little bit. Yeah.
The geometrical value
The
of apophis.
geometrical value of apophis plus 44, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13.
Yeah.
That's a multiple of 19.
Depend a lot. There's only so many, like the fact that this many parameters are all lining up cohesively with each other. I mean, this is
Yeah, then we have the 44, 9, 10, which is just 44, 9, 10 itself, plus you have the date of impact, that's a multiple of 19. Then you have 44, then you have 9 through 15 plus year of discovery plus the year of impact. Then here you have 44, then you have 9 through 15 plus year of impact plus number of the apophis, and then the total geometrical value of apophis, that's also multiple. Then here you have the year of impact plus 4410 plus the total geometrical value of apophis, and then here you have the date of impact of apophis, and then you have Surah 44 for the smoke, and then you have number of letters in 4410, which is 28. Then here you have Surah 44, instead of the number of letters, you have the geometrical value of the verse 4410, and that's also a multiple of 19, right? So like you see the similarity between this and this. So one, you put the number of letters, and if you replace the number of letters with the total geometrical value, that's also a multiple of 19. And then you have the surah number plus the geometrical value of 4410 plus the year of impact, which is 2029, plus the number of the apophis, that's also a multiple of 19. And then here you have surah number 44 plus the number of letters in 4410 plus the geometrical value of apophis, it's also a multiple. Then here you have the number of words in 4410 plus the total geometrical value of 4410 plus the date the year of impact, which is 2029, plus the ID number of apophis, that's a multiple of 19. Then here you have total number of letters in 4410, then the total geometrical value of 4410, then you have the year of discovery plus the year of impact and the ID of the apophis plus the geometrical value of the apophis, that's also multiple. Then you have the date of discovery with 44 as a surah number of the smoke, and then you have the geometrical value of apophis, that's also multiple. Then you have the surah number plus you have the number of letters in 4410, plus you have the number of words in 4410, then you have the number of letters in 4410, which is 28, then you have the year of impact, then you have the ID of the apophis, that's also a multiple of 19. Then you have surah number 44, then you have the number of words in 4410, then you have the geometrical value of 4410, then you have the year of discovery plus the number of apophis, ID of apophis, which is also multiple of 19. Then here you have the surah number 44 for the smoke, then you have the number of letters in 4410, here you have the total geometrical value of 4410 and the year of discovery, which is 2004, and then you have the geometrical value of apophis, that's also multiple. Then here you have 44, then you have the number of words in 4410, number of letters in 4410, geometrical value of 4410, and then you have the ID of apophis, that's also a multiple of 19. Then we have surah 44, number of words in surah 44 verse 10, number of letters in 4410, total geometrical value of 4410, the year of impact 2029, and the geometrical value of the apophis. And in this one you have the geometrical value of every letter of apophis put side by side, right? So this is the geometrical value of every letter of apophis put side by side, right? And then year of discovery of apophis, which is 2004. So it's a multiple of 19. Geometrical value, so yeah, the geometrical value, the geometrical value, no, not every letter of apophis, every letter of 4410, sorry. Geometrical value of every letter of 4410, and the year of discovery, which is 2004. So we have this multiple of 19. Here we have the geometrical value of every letter of 4410. I have to fix both. 4410. This one is also letter of 4410. So all of these, right? 4410. So this one we just added the year of discovery, we got a multiple. Then here we added the year of discovery plus the year of impact, Add next side, put next to it side by side, year of impact, which is 2029, and also the total geometrical value of Apophis. So we got this other multiple of 19. Then in this one, we got the geometrical
It
value.
says, a question. What is, if we write these numbers in reverse sequence, what does that mean?
Yeah, just ignore that. This was just a program finding out and just doing some reversing in the order in which it was writing it versus how it's being described here. So basically, so this reversing, yeah. So let's say this one for example, right? The it says the geometrical value of every letter, right? So here, the geometrical value of every letter, instead of putting it at the, let's start, let's do, this is the reverse sequence, right? So we said 159 in this one was the last number, right? So 150, so it's just the order in which it's written, right? So 2004, then you have 2029. This is the actual number, right? 2004, 2029, and this is 159, and then this long number is at the end. It's not in the beginning, right? So even though it mentioned it first, it put it at the end. Basically, that's all it's doing. So the real number is this one, not basically this one. Yeah, it's a little confusing to read, I understand. So we get this number, right? So this is basically the number 2004 plus 2029, next to it 2029, next to it 159, the geometrical value of Apophis, next to it the number that is formed by every letter of 4410, right? So every letter of 4410 next to the geometrical value of Apophis, next to the year of discovery, next to the year of impact. And then here, same thing, we call it the reverse sequence here, but yeah, it has all these numbers side by side, right? So you have 6/19, 2024, 2004, right? And then you have this long number. Basically, right? So that number is also multiple of 19. And same thing with this one. I'm going to remove this part here so it's less confusing. Actually, this part is less confusing. This is 2004. Yeah. Yeah, 2004 next to this long number, which is multiple 19. Then this one, 2004, 2029 next to the long number, and then here you have the full date of discovery next to the long number. So all these three are multiples. Okay, and then mashallah, John had discovered 2265, right? Where God says the only in accordance, he does not cause, what does the verse say? 2265, right? Let's read 2265. I don't want to butcher it either. 2265 says,
I think it says he prevents the heavenly bodies from crashing onto earth except in accordance with
his command.
Or something like that. Or his
Yes,
will.
yes. So yeah, I'm gonna, God willing, read the verse. It says, "Do you not see that God has committed in your service everything on earth? The ships run in ocean by His command. He prevents the heavenly bodies from crashing onto the earth, except in accordance with His command. God is in most God is most kind towards the people, most merciful. So it specifically says that He prevents the heavenly bodies from crashing onto the earth, except in accordance with His command. Right. So basically, it's 2265 is, in other words, an indication like of an authorization from God, because it talks about in accordance with His command. Stuff will crash onto the earth, right? So if you look at the number of words in 2265, which is 27, and the year of discovery of Apophis next to each other, you get a multiple of 19, right? So the year of discovery and the number of letters in, number of words in 2265. Now these are simple, right? So then you have the number of words in 2265, which is 27. Yeah, so this one is a little. So 20. This is basically 27 plus 2004 plus 99942 equals this number, which is a multiple of 19. Then you have 2004 plus the number of letters in 2265, which is 101. So 2004 101, the year of discovery of Apophis in accordance with God's will, right? So that's a multiple. Then you have number of letters, year of discovery, and the year of impact. Here you have year, date of impact added to the number of letters. Here you have the geometrical value 7918 plus 2004 plus 2029, which is a multiple of 19. So this is the geometrical value of every letter, total geometrical value of 2265 plus year of discovery plus the year of impact. And then this is geometrical value of 2265. This is the year of impact. This is the ID of the Apophis, and this is the geometrical value of Apophis. Then this one is the date of the Apophis next to the geometrical value of 2265. Then this one's geometrical value of 2265 next to the date of discovery. So you see the yeah, both of them, right? So one is date of discovery, one is the date of impact. The date of impact is first, and here the date of discovery is at the end, right? And the same number 7918. And then here you have the number of words, the number of letters in 2265, and then the year of impact. Then here you have the number of words, then you have the number of letters, then you have the year of impact, the year of discovery, and then you have the year of impact. Here you have the number of letters, number of words, plus year of impact, plus ID of Apophis and geometrical value of Apophis. Here, are you guys still with me? Here we have the
Mashallah,
Mashallah.
it's amazing.
Alhamdulillah. So here we have the year of impact, the date of impact of Apophis, number of letters in 2265, and the number of letters. Sorry, this is number of words, this is number of letters. So basically, in other words, God is letting us know that on this date, God has authorized, this to crash onto the earth, and you have the number of words and the number of letters. Yeah. SubhanAllah. And then here also we have the same thing. We get total geometrical value, year of discovery, and the geometrical value of Apophis. And then here you have the number of, sorry, this one is this number. I added this thing here, but I verified these numbers, So each one of them. So this is 101 number of letters in 2265 plus the total geometrical value of 2265 plus the year of year of discovery plus the number of Apophis plus the total geometrical value of Apophis. Here you have the year of discovery, year of impact, total geometrical value of Apophis, number of words, number of letters, and total geometrical value of 2265. That's also multiple of 19. Then here you have the date of discovery and number of letters, number of words, number of letters, and total geometrical value, right, next to the date of discovery. Here you have date of discovery next to the date of impact, next to surah number and the verse number. That's also multiple. Then you have the surah number and the verse number, plus the year of impact, plus the geometrical value of Apophis. And then these ones are, so we're done with 2265. Then these ones are Apophis with the messenger of the covenant, right? So geometrical value of Apophis side by side with the value of Rashad. Then here you have another number which is 2004 plus 2029 plus 1230 geometrical value of Rashad Khalifa. So you get 5263, which is also multiple of 19, right? And then you have this one, which is 2004 plus, which is the year of discovery plus the geometrical value of Apophis plus the geometrical value of Khalifa. So you have this number, which is also multiple of 19. We are almost towards the end, I think, here. And this one is 2029 year of impact plus 99942 plus 159 geometrical value of Apophis plus the geometrical value of Rashad Khalifa. We get this number, which is also multiple of 19. Then we have geometrical value of Rashad Khalifa plus the date of discovery of Apophis put side by side. That's also a multiple of 19. Okay, so we have a better way to write it would be the date of discovery, which is 6/19/2004, right? So 6/19/2004 combined, and then combined geometrical value of Rashad Khalifa. And then here you have this number is number of letters in 4410 plus geometrical value of 4410 plus number of words in 2265, which is 27, plus the number of letters in 2265. We get this number, which is also multiple of Yeah, amazing,
Yeah,
and it's
you know
all.
the stuff that this is the new stuff, right? This
Yeah,
is
this is all new. This is all new. We have not discovered any of these.
yeah. No, yeah, but so that like there's still stuff you need that
And
we
there's still
before the
more. There's
program and
still
stuff.
more. Yeah.
Yeah, that were like really. Yeah, this is you know, it makes perfect sense because just as the way Surah 44 is mathematically coded, the
Mm-hmm.
smoke, the prophecy, all of that's coded. The smoke itself, you know, Apophis, it would be mathematically coded as well, and God would let us know,
Mm-hmm.
you know, for those who, you know,
Mm-hmm.
believe in the miracle 19.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I mean, the smoke is coded in the Quran, the Surah 40, all of that's mathematically coded. So the asteroid itself, naturally, you know, we would understand it would be mathematically coded.
Mm-hmm.
And then alhamdulillah.
It's crazy. I only found 57. Like there were two, two of them we already found that I found, so I removed them.
I was
And then
thinking about that too. Yeah, don't send this to send this to Claude because it might get angry.
no, Claude helped me write the program that I wrote
No,
for
I'm
this.
just kidding. It was haiku that I was talking about.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah. I mean the old one. If I show the response to people, they will be laughing.
yeah,
It
yeah. I
was
mean,
so mean.
maybe the developers or some of those
Yeah,
upper echelon people wisened up and they were like, okay, let's just take the information and
yeah, yeah. So the early models were a little bit biased in some things, that they worked on, like because this was all about the beliefs. Like, okay, he was attacking my beliefs. You know.
uh, yeah, yeah. I think Gemini was the same way too, similar. I don't know if that's
Yeah, Gemini. I don't
but
use. It's very dumb. I think.
yeah, it's like mush, not good.
Yeah. All right. So this is all for me. MashaAllah, I mean, God is helping us, I guess, reconfirming, our doubts, reassuring us. Reassuring us. I meant by this because, like, for example, when I got the response that I got from Anthropic when I wanted it to clean up a document about the smoke that we have previously collected, it gave this very nasty response to me, which was very cleverly worded, that it kind of put doubt in my heart. Like, it didn't make me feel good. And then I was like, okay, well, fine. If it cannot help me fix my document, at least it helped me write programs, so I can write a program by using it to help me write it quickly, that I could find my own combinations of all of these numbers. And so that's what I did. So with the help of Claude and stuff. So subhanallah. I mean, but there's obviously there's a lot. There's, I think, some more stuff there is to it. But I guess you know I mean, this is just more than enough, like more than what we even need, I guess, at this point, to know for a fact that this is something that is real now.
Yeah, and I mean, I just can't get over the fact. I mean, I can, but figuratively speaking, that it was discovered in Tucson, Arizona. I mean,
Yeah.
that should like be that
That's
should
not
be the strawberries and icing on the cake
Uh-huh.
because it bears the messenger of the covenant's mark. I mean, like the
Mm-hmm.
chances of us discovering, us meaning like the world or the scientists ever discovering another asteroid out of Tucson are slim to none. Like, well, I mean, an asteroid that's actually going to come close to Earth. I mean, even if it weren't to hit it. So, I mean, I mean, the timing is there too, you know. So this, yeah, I mean, I mean, it should be really,
Mm-hmm.
uh, I guess, comforting to know this, but also, uh, you know,
Mm-hmm.
uh,
Yeah.
take the steps beforehand. Because I mean, there's about 4 years
Mm-hmm.
between now, which I mean, it kind of is a long time. Like I know we talked about this, Suleman. Like it, I mean,
Mm-hmm.
4 years is a long time,
Mm-hmm.
but it'll go by. It'll come by quick.
Quickly, yeah.
You know, it's a long time, but it will pay. It'll come by quick.
Yeah.
So, like it's enough time to plan and,
Yeah. And we are in
just
2025, right? 4 years ago, we had COVID, right? Imagine like less,
hmm
more than 4 years ago,
right.
right?
Yeah,
So
that's true. COVID was 4 years ago, and then
yeah, but it
yeah, and then 4 years from now, it's
yeah.
yeah. I mean,
So
alhamdulillah, I was thinking yesterday. I was like, you know, well, before you, I think you had when you had texted me, I'm like, man, God's messenger did. I mean, not that we disbelieve, but it's like the Quran says how the submitters, believers will, when they see these proofs come to pass, they'll remark things like, indeed, God's messenger brought us the truth.
mm,
Like everything he said. Uh, I
yeah,
mean, it eliminates doubts. Like, I mean, God brought the truth, and His messenger definitely confirmed and brought the truth. He was truthful in everything He told us and warned us about.
yeah, and the fact that God allowed the messenger of the covenant to write the part where he said, "I don't know when it will happen. Only God knows its time, but I have a feeling that it may happen." Like that part alone, where he clearly says that he doesn't know when it's going to happen, and he's clearly saying that only God knows at that time. He said, "Only God knows when it's going to happen. But I have a feeling." I mean, God allowed that little phrase in there to allow people to mock him and ridicule him, you know, and disbelieve in him.
Yeah, exactly, exactly.
You know,
Yeah, yeah. It was just like it was like bait for these wicked people.
yeah, yeah. Like
People.
recently, I mean, I, it was funny because I never received any comments about the smoke before, about the insulting of submitters. Never said anything, but just recently I received one YouTube comment about a guy saying, "Oh, you believe this guy, and he said the smoke will happen in 1990, and it didn't happen, and you guys are still following him." And subhanallah, I mean, imagine those people that are rejoicing and they think they have, now they feel that they've gotten away with it, like the guy who served the sentence, let's say, in prison
Uh,
for killing, for assassination. He's not the person who really was the one who wanted to kill him. He's just a hitman, right? But the people who were actually behind this are free, right? And they are praising the people who did it, and they think that sort of succeeded in their goal. But and all the other people who have been, following, falsehood and promoting falsehood. I mean, people who are mocking him about being a messenger. God says, just when the messengers despair and think they have been defeated, God's victory comes. You know, so that's pretty awesome, I think. But it's really just unreal. Like I still just feel like it's a dream. Like I can't believe it that we have to go through something like that to actually. For me, like even when like I saw these proofs, like you know, I mean, part of me was um, thrilled in a way, but most of it was just more and more scared. Like as I found more and more numbers, like I was like going through them checking, I was like, oh no, oh god.
uh, yeah, I know. I mean, it's like these people. I mean, it's literally makes. I'm not saying it's like good, but it's just like circumvent evidence,
Mm-hmm.
or if that's the right term to use. About these people's responses, such as the YouTube comment
Mm-hmm.
example you've given, and I mean, I'm sure like other ones you've gotten or
Mm-hmm.
seen, uh,
The
over the
terrorism,
years.
like the
Yeah,
jobs
and I mean, it
loss. That's
yeah, and it like it's not. I mean, it's just like the Quran tells us. I mean, like almost if you didn't see this, it would like. I mean, not that it would change belief or anything, but the fact that we see this and it's like, okay, this is like the old saying, history repeats itself. Like
Mm-hmm.
how generations were warned before them, they turned arrogantly, uh, and then it's like, the verse from 68. I don't know if we read it today, but it says, "Those who disbelieve show ridicule in their eyes when they hear the message and say he is crazy. In fact, is a message to the world." I mean, there's so many verses about the Quran about these people. Um, Messengers before you have been ridiculed. It is those who mock them who suffer the consequences of the ridiculing. So I mean, they're gonna get it.
Yeah, they're gonna get it really, really, really. I mean, the Earth has not seen anything of this magnitude before. The humans have not
No,
experienced anything
never.
of this magnitude, you know.
Yeah,
So it's really something like, also like when I look at the amount of proofs we got, like why is there so much proof about it? It's like it is something very, very serious. Like, well, of course
yeah,
it's serious anyways because you have the mathematical miracle, the ultimate miracle itself. But God has given overwhelming evidence for the smoke itself, just as He has given for the mathematical, because obviously, for the mathematical miracle, because people are gonna need to see this information to tie the mathematical miracle to the smoke and to the message. The smoke and the message together. You know,
right.
so
Yeah,
it's
that too. I thought about that too. That's a good, like, to put this out there. So when
yeah.
people look back, they'll be like, "Oh, look, this,
Mm-hmm.
it's the truth." And I mean, plus something else I thought about was, so like, even for the people that are like, let's say, disbelieving in the government, and if they think Apophis is going to hit, they're all saying 100% of them, "Oh, it's going to hit that Atlantic Ocean." They
Mm-hmm.
don't know. They're
Mm-hmm.
gonna. It's and that itself, when it hits the Middle East, and nobody in the world was
Mm-hmm.
saying it, but
Mm-hmm.
it's like, okay, this is it hit the Arabian Peninsula. Well, no, everybody was, but who was saying, oh, the Quran was messenger of the covenant? I mean,
Mm-hmm.
and then we have these proofs, and then Tucson, Arizona, and that way, it's important because they, lest Satan tries to
Mm-hmm.
dupe people into thinking this is something from the book of Revelations from the
Mm-hmm.
Bible,
Mm-hmm.
which is not.
Yeah.
you know
Yeah, but I think
Revelations is,
yeah. Go ahead.
maybe there's some truth in there, but there's also a lot of, like, it's still, you know
Mm-hmm.
um so a lot of it's left for open for interpretation and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
but I won't
Yeah, I mean,
get
imagine
into
if
that.
if if NASA told people that it was gonna hit, then what would be the point of like believing in this? It's like Noah was saying, to his son to come, and he said, I'll go on top of the hill. Like he didn't believe him, and only those who believed with Noah were the ones who actually got onto the boat, right? So it's
That's a good point.
it's a good
Yeah.
point. Yeah.
I didn't think. Yeah, I mean, it's like, as much as you want, like, I mean, yeah, God's running everything. So I mean, even like when people, like, stuff that I guess, like, we might not understand or see as like concealment, let's say, within
Mm-hmm.
different branches of governments and stuff. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
there's a reason behind it too.
Yeah,
I mean, a
absolutely.
good reason.
Yeah, I mean,
That's
imagine.
God's everything.
Yeah, imagine like no one would show up for the Hajj, right? If
Yeah.
NASA said all these all these richest Saudis will go to space, like Jeff Bezos did for a few months. At least on that day, they will be in space. They have so much wealth, right? So if NASA said that this was going to hit, they would all go to space. In fact, there's only so many people that could be launched into space, right? I mean, but they would pay like premium price over everybody else, to go into space, especially if they knew that it was coming for them, right?
Yeah, and then who knows? Their egos are so big,
Uh-huh.
like, they're so arrogant and egotistical. Like, they would still challenge it,
Yeah.
You know, well, I'm not saying it would, but yeah, that's probably what they would do. But maybe some of them will
Yeah.
be like the Sodom and Gomorrah people or the people of Ad or Thamud and be
Mm-hmm.
like, bring it to us. Look, we're waiting, huh?
Yeah.
Like even when it was thundering, they were like laughing and like, oh,
Mm-hmm.
we're gonna get some rain stuff,
Yeah, at least the
and then
king
boom.
would want to go, right? And if he
Yeah.
left and he came back, imagine he would still want to rule it, and the Arabs would still not be annihilated technically. There would still be tyranny, and the land will not be devoted to God alone, right? They
Mhm.
would want to enforce the same kind of principles, but God wants these people to be completely annihilated. So it has to be the way it is, that
All their
this is
wealth
how things
too.
are.
Their
Yeah.
infrastructure
Yeah.
completely gone.
Of
Like all
course.
the evil, the illicit gains. I mean, the
Mm-hmm.
oil and
Mm-hmm.
stuff is all going to be wiped out. Like they're
Mm-hmm.
not gonna. They're going to be get
Yeah.
sent in.
But they're not even going to be there. They're not going to be able to own any of it. I mean, it's not going to be owned by the Arabs. The Arabs are going to be gone. Unheard of. You know.
Mhm. Yeah, that's true.
And I mean, how would they even imagine, like, the people who own part of this land? Like, I mean, they will not have the same kind of power or anything. Um, I mean, God knows anything else, but at least as far as we're concerned, knowing about the smoke and all this, at least, also to me, this is just another reminder that we should not get um, too absorbed in this worldly problems that people have. Like, people think about money or jobs or business or just, petty problems of this world, like people are thinking about right now. Like, we have something so major coming up. Like, we should think about the victory. We should think about how we can get more credit now that because the victory is coming, for example. Like, this is our opportunity to get more credit, because God says, not equal are those who strive before the victory, right? Believe and strive before the victory in Surah 57, right? They also get credit, but those people who are striving before the victory comes, they're gonna get far more credit than the people who are gonna be striving afterwards. So this gives us, more heads up in terms of time, so we can strive in the way we want to strive and promote the truth, and also work on
Yeah,
ourselves so we can, uh, you know, not be among the people who are affected by these things. Work on our submission.
yeah, it's so true. You know, yeah,
MashaAllah, right, brother.
yeah. Before the deadline.
Yeah.
I was thinking too. I didn't want to make this joke, but like, even if they went in outer space,
Uh huh.
like, it'd be funny. They're trying to escape it.
It'll pass by them.
Yeah, and then somehow something will happen in orbit, and then the Apophis on its way into Earth's orbit, it'll smoke them or
Yeah.
smoke their spaceship. Like it'll hit them right. I mean, God could see to it that way.
Yeah.
It's like they ran straight into it. But no, I just thought that was like the Arabs are like if they would try that,
Yeah, and their space.
But
What would happen to their spaceships too? Like, how would the spaceships, function? They'll have no
yeah,
contact with Earth, and um, they could have so many problems too.
yeah,
They could
yeah.
be
It's a good good
basically,
thing to keep in perspective.
halfway or somewhere in space. Even the space stations are not going to be fully secure, um, unless they know exactly where it's coming, which they know now. But like, they're still saying that it's people in Africa and Europe are gonna see it pass by. So they know exactly the Earth is gonna come from that side, and it's gonna be what time of the day it's gonna be. Because it's gonna be what part of the Earth is gonna be facing it. In other words, when it happens, it's exactly the Middle East, right? So when you say Africa and Europe are gonna be able to see it, between Africa and Europe, you know, you have the Middle East.
Subhanallah, good point. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, no one's truly expecting it to hit because, like, a few, I'll just say this, a few people, I mean, there's been more than a few now, and some have taken more interest than others.
Mhm.
But uh, it's funny because when I tell it about it, and then they'll come back and they'll be like, "Oh yeah, I watched a video," and you can see maybe some concern
Mhm.
on them, but like, it's kind of funny because I mean, even people who think it may or may not hit, it's not really because NASA is saying that
Mhm.
they're talking about it coming back around or giving this whole explanation like to try to top people
Mhm.
from worrying about it, like, oh, it may or or it could do this or that, but which I
Mhm.
mean be the perfect ploy to
Mhm.
put people's guard down. Like, oh yeah,
Exactly.
it'll get close, but they're not worried at all because like, no, it can't hit us. It would if it
Yeah.
was, it would come back on.
Exactly. You know, the only way this is being authorized by God, and it's gonna hit in accordance with God's will, as it says. You know, with today's technology, like, you can dismantle missiles like halfway into space, right? Like, see, for example,
Actually,
the technology that we have. So something this even as slightly bigger than a missile, like a size of a football field, you could still detonate a football field in space, right? um, if you wanted to. I mean, you could easily have an aircraft or something that is gonna match the same speed as the Apophis, or catch it halfway in space, and easily it can do something to it, to at least, if not destroy it completely, to change its orbit, right? But the only way it's happening is because of the greed that they think that they're going to become rich from it, that they want it to fall on the earth, they want it to come to them, you know. So
mm,
that's the
yeah,
only way this was going to be possible in today's day and age, for something like that to even happen. With Because people, they're watching all of these bodies from space. They know so many years ahead of time where everything's going to be. So how can this even happen, right? And mashallah, brother Abdullah posted the DART mission about where they're observing it and stuff, right? And I think South Korea was. I was just reading. Um, oh, they changed an asteroid's orbit. He says, right, 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 exactly. In 2021, yeah, subhanallah. Yeah, so I mean, it's easily possible, right? You just hit it with a little bit of a velocity, and it's gonna go to the other place, right? It doesn't. It's not like it has friction and stuff in space, right? It's very easy. Something like that. I mean, if you were to do it on Earth, it would require much more force. But if you're doing it in space, it's very easy. Like, for example, you see the people walking on the moon, right? They just lift up their foot and they're flying in space because there's nothing to stop them. Also, there's no gravity and stuff, right? So anything you to just touch and it just goes the other way. It's so easy, right? So freely falling, right? So you could very easily change the orbit with just a very little, very small amount of force. And we, like I said, with our technology that we have now, it's so easy to do that, but only reason is God is not allowing it to happen. So all these people can't do anything, God is controlling the minds of everybody, in this, and God allows someone, like, who is going to be so corrupt, and
exactly. It made me think of
ridiculous.
the verse how it says he thus controls the hearts and the minds of the guilty.
Mm-hmm.
So these corrupt people,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they're only allowed to you know commit more of the same thing.
Yeah.
And just like in the movie we saw about those rare
Mm-hmm.
earth metals,
Mm-hmm.
because if they could send like these huge machines out into space and go harvest planets and stuff, they would. But I mean,
Mm-hmm.
they don't have that type of technology to land
Mm-hmm.
on these
Mm-hmm.
heavenly bodies or these
Mm-hmm.
asteroids and then sit there, dig stuff out, and then come back. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
so they're probably going to welcome it,
Mm-hmm.
like saying, but
Subhanallah. Also, brother, Suleman, you know what's important too, like you were saying in your study that, you know, um, none of us, as submitters should have doubt about this.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we should if we really believe God,
Mm-hmm.
we know that this is coming from God,
Right,
and
right.
we must have no doubt and prepare ourselves for this,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and implore God that He protects us.
exactly. Yeah, I mean that because like just like the date of the end of the world, right? People thought it was dangerous. Like, for example, like what the Anthropic was telling me in the beginning, uh, saying that it's dangerous. Spreading all these things. Like, if I read to you what it said, it was so funny. It was like so mean.
Was it the haiku one?
Huh? The whole
Just
thing
regular.
says, I apologize, but like when I said I gave it the document, right, which was like basically a summary of my sermon. And I said, can you write
Uh-huh.
it better? And I said, I apologize, but I don't feel comfortable fleshing out or expanding upon the content of this PDF. This document makes a number of claims that I believe are problematic and potentially harmful. It says it contains what appears to be doomsday prophecies and predictions of global catastrophe that are not supported by scientific evidence. And it says making such claim without solid factual basis can spread undue fear. And it says the repeated references to specific dates like asteroid Apophis supposedly hitting Earth on April 13, 2029, supposedly hitting Earth, are stated as certainties where, in fact, NASA and astronomers have determined the probability of an impact to be extremely low. And it says presenting remote possibilities as definite outcomes is misleading. And then it said the numerous numerological, in double quotes, it says, really in double quotes, it says proofs drawing connections between numbers like surah verse counts, dates, and gematria values seem to be stretches that could be found between any set of numbers if one looks hard enough. They do not constitute real evidence for the claims being made. And then it says interpreting allegorical religious scripture as literal predictions of modern day events, especially disasters, is a dubious practice that most mainstream religious scholars caution against, right? So it's like favoring mainstream religious scholars here. And it says it often leads to baseless dooms saying and cult-like thinking, you know. So it's almost like accusing us of being a cult here. And then it says some of the statements, like those anticipating destruction centered on Arab and the Middle East, comes across as disturbingly gleeful about the prospect of human tragedy in a way that I'm not comfortable amplifying.
Yeah, it's ironic though. 'Cause, I mean, these same programs and stuff wouldn't have an issue talking about, the baseless like Mayan, uh, 2012 stuff. And I mean, of course, it's already passed. So, or the 19 year 2K stuff. But I'm sure, yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I'm
It's
just laughing at this, my last statement, because it's saying like some of the statements, like those talking about the destruction of Arabs, is coming across as disturbingly joyful about the prospect of human tragedy in a way that I'm not comfortable amplifying. So it's like even finding my tone as saying, "Oh yeah, you're happy that Middle East is gonna be destroyed." Like I can sense this tone of joy in your talking about this event, like which is a human tragedy, which would be a human tragedy, and I find it very uncomfortable. It's like a real
Yeah,
person,
I mean, you just present the facts. It's
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean,
And
it
it
just
says,
adds. If anything, it adds the validity of what we have to see.
mm-hmm,
I mean, even ChatGPT, when I tried sending it a file, I think that same one, and I texted you about it. It, I mean, for the life of me, I could not get it. I did it at least a dozen times in different
mm-hmm,
ways, different
mm-hmm,
ways of asking, restarting it, the app, etc. And it would leave out, I would say, about 70% of the calculations, and also stuff about the messenger, and then. And I just thought that was strange too. But I mean, GBT is much more friendly, so
mm-hmm.
it's definitely, I think my
Mm-hmm.
favorite one to go to
Right.
for most stuff. You know?
Yeah. I mean, imagine like it could just say I'm not comfortable doing this, right? But it went on like it took this on. It says rather than spread speculative catastrophizing, I think it's better to rely on scientific data and expert analysis to soberly assess risks and possibility. Doomsday predictions, even when wrapped in religious language and numerology, tend to be sensationalistic and frequently wrong. And says I would direct you to trusted scientific sources like NASA for factual information. Yeah, it's like a real hypocrite came on and wrote this, wanted to send it to me.
Yeah. Oh, like someone came behind the screen or something and was typing.
Yeah, it's so crazy.
Yeah, I mean, who knows? It could have been someone in the.
No, I mean it's not, but I mean
I don't
it's
know.
like they develop personality almost. Like they're talking about that.
Yeah, I mean, I would ask it, why is it, what's it so afraid of? You know, I mean, it's just
Right.
numbers. Like, why is
Yeah.
it just? I mean, even like the Surrey 74, and why is it running like zebras? I mean, it's just, you know, I mean, we're not. I'm not downplaying it, saying it's just numbers, but I mean, in the
Yeah.
sense of it, what it's trying to convey,
Mm-hmm.
like, oh, you know, I mean, it's, you know,
Yeah.
take it or leave it. AI, you know,
Yeah,
you
I
don't
mean
have
it's the
to.
same. It's the same thing. Like basically, it's based off of like it's learned this stuff from people's responses in the past, right? And whatever is fed to it. So it basically
Mhm.
summarizes like people's reactions to stuff
People,
like that.
yeah, that's no, that's true. I didn't think
Yeah.
about. I forget about these
Yeah.
large language. But yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that
Yeah.
makes sense why on it.
Yeah.
It's like a summation of what
Exactly. What the world
people would be.
thinks, yeah, and how the world would respond typically, which is what they're trying to improve on. They're trying to prevent it from being biased based on this kind of data and allow it to think objectively.
Hmm.
Which is more technical, but like but the newer version did help me on that document. Just to put more context in the conversation. But amazing, is that God is giving us all of these things. I mean, so like when I read this response, really it hit me like it kind of put doubt in me. Like I've started questioning myself. Like, am I doing the right thing by putting this information? And then, Subhanallah, today, I got all this stuff, and God is reassuring our hearts by this, right? I mean, Subhanallah. I think it was a similar moment before about the smoke too. Like when we had some of the previous signs that something like that happened. I'm trying to recall when I felt like I needed to see these proofs. Then the proofs, God showed the proofs. Praise be to God. Are there any other comments or questions from people before we conclude? All right. So God willing, yeah, I'll be posting these, on the maybe the website submission WS, and so people can see it and access it. God willing, and yeah, if, God willing, our next English Quran study would be on. So about the English Quran study, God willing, we're going to be changing the time back to Tuesday at 2 p.m. as just like we had before because more people are not able to join the early study, it seems, right? So we're going to go back to our